Bonjour. This is the intro to the Mental Breakdowns podcast, episode 5, where I finally got you guys that interview I've been talking about. This is with my roommate Gus, great kid. Yes, I have finally reached that age where I'm calling people kid, so that's a new development. But anyway, we're still trying to get the format down as far as interviews go, so that's why we didn't specifically pick any one topic for now, and we just focused on Gus's backstory and what brought him to where he is now. I hope you guys enjoy it. There is a little bit of fan noise in the background. Like I said, still working out the kinks, what to do, what not to do, how to balance what the podcast needs versus what our guest stars need. And I can definitely say from this experience, I will not be allowing any more effing fans in the interview process. But that's neither here nor there. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Here it is, episode 5 with Gus. Welcome to the Mental Breakdowns podcast. I am your host, Zoe. Today we finally got that episode that I've been promising for weeks now. Finally an interview, and finally an interviewee that had the time in his schedule to come join us. So the person I asked to come is my roommate, Sir Gus. Sir Gus a lot. Before we dig into his backstory and talk around that, let's get into these current events. Alright, so first up is Kanye West drops official presidential campaign ad.
I love Kanye. Everyone should vote for him.
I don't know about that.
No, I'm just kidding. Don't vote for Kanye.
I thought he could only get on the vice president. I thought he was only able to be the vice president on the California ballot.
I believe that the graduation album and college dropout qualify somebody for office, but they don't.
No.
So don't vote for Kanye.
Right.
Remember the last time y'all voted for somebody as a joke? Well, look what happened.
I don't know if other people were joking.
I hope they were. I thought they were. I guess not.
And then on the other hand, too, he already has claimed he has mental health issues and doesn't like to take his medication. Do we really?
Yeah, Kanye's having a manic episode, guys. Just let him do his thing.
Right, just leave him alone.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Not to discriminate against people with mental health issues from doing anything complex, but
if you want to be president, you got to take your meds.
You add bare fucking minimum.
Yeah, you can have mental health issues and do great things in life, but you should probably take your meds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. All right, we'll pray for Kanye. Cardi B responds to troll shaming the size of her nipples. Did you see her nude? She accidentally leaked her own nude picture on Instagram.
I think we should stop commenting on people's bodies.
Thank you.
I mean, I think that she there's other things that are problematic about Cardi B, you know, and it's not her nipples.
I don't know.
Like,
I love me some Cardi, but
yeah, me too. Like, I think that she's great. Like, she's not perfect, but like, I think that shit like that just like teaches young women that like their bodies are always going to be judged, and like,
right,
you know what I mean? Like, people don't need, like, we don't need more
areola shame.
We don't need more shame in the world.
Right.
Like, we don't need, like, fucking love your nipples. Like,
so not to spend too much time on this, but one troll asked her on IG, quote, "Why yo areola so big?" End quote. Cardi hit back with the perfect response, saying, quote, "'Cause I breastfeed a baby for 3 months, titties got bigger, so nipples got bigger. It's okay. Let me know if your daddy wanna get breastfed." End quote. That's
nice.
That's great. That's great. She's just she's being real with it.
And, I mean, but that's like a huge problem. Like people like shaming women over what happens to their body during pregnancy and like with babies. And,
absolutely.
Like postpartum is already a thing.
Fuck, you're right.
And like there's already like so many struggles that like I know women in my life who've gotten pregnant and like so many struggles with their body image surrounding that like y'all don't need to feed into that shit.
All right.
You know, just don't. I feel like the golden rule is just like don't be a dickhead.
Yeah.
You know.
You would think.
Just don't like comment on people's bodies.
Yeah.
If you want to comment on her music, if you want to comment on her public persona, you know, she's a famous person, like that kind of comes along with that. But like to keep like. People don't need to be sent any more messages about their fucking bodies.
Yeah, and it's crazy because this week too, Billie Eilish got body shamed also for wearing tight clothing because you know how she's always wearing the more baggier clothing.
Yeah.
She wasn't this week, and
how old is she?
Exactly. She's fucking 18. She's a teenager.
Why are you even like?
Yeah.
You're
concerned
just
with it.
Weird at that.
That's super. That's super weird.
Uh,
Anyway, so that was those news stories. I promise you guys.
Breaking news: the world is still a fucked up, body shaming place.
Right. But I also made sure to throw in some positive news because that's what we've been doing for the last 2 weeks. So we're gonna end it on a positive note.
I got a skateboard today.
He got a skateboard today. Gus got a skateboard today, and a new study reveals dog heart's rate increases when their owner simply says, "I love you."
That's adorable. It's because the dog's
How do they know
scared.
this?
Because it knows it's about to get attacked.
Right. Get that ass whipped.
I love you. Oh shit!
Right. You shit on the carpet. You shit on the carpet. I really want to know how. Okay, so according to a recent study conducted by the folks at Canine Cottages, after equipping a quartet of test pups with heart rate monitors, the dogs were guided through a series of scenarios over the course of 7 days to see how they react to a variety of stimuli. When owners said "I love you" to their pets, the doggo's heart rate shot to 98 beats per minute, a 46% increase.
That's adorable.
Yeah, I still don't know how they. I believe it, but I also am like how and why.
I mean, dogs have like been proven to be like incredibly connected.
I'm just like, who started this?
Like who?
Yeah, I said we need to strap some heart rate monitors on these dogs and do some testing. Yeah.
Some useful.
But yeah, okay. So that was our current news events for the week. For topic wise, we couldn't really settle on a topic. This is going to be more focused on our guest star Gus and
just talk about like fried chicken methods.
Yeah, fried chicken methods. Maybe some coping methods.
Like fried chicken.
Like fried chicken, just deep frying anything in general, and then I don't know, maybe touch on. We're just gonna touch on whatever pops up in Gus's story right after the break. All right. This is Zoe with a friendly reminder. If anyone has any questions regarding mental health issues that they'd like us to answer with our own experience on future episodes, go ahead and leave a comment on whichever platform you may be listening to, or you can send me a personal message either through text or Instagram or what have you. I can't promise we'll answer every single one, but we sure as hell will try. All right, thanks. Back to the show. That was a fucking loud one. Alright, and we're back with the Mental Breakdowns podcast. It's your host Zoe with our guest star Gus. So yeah, we're just gonna get into these short format interview questions, Gus, if you don't mind. Sorry, guys, I'm dropping shit. We're upstairs in our room right now, which is half a room, half an attic, but it's neither here nor there. All right, Gus. You want to just do a quick introduction? Who you are, what gang you rep?
I don't rep any gangs.
Okay.
My name is Gus or August or Towns is my stage name / rapper name. And I see, who am I? I make music. I'm in recovery. I rap and sing and dabble in various instruments, and that's mostly what I do. I was a line cook for a while. I can cook good stuff.
I was about to say, you can fucking cook a storm. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, music's been the focus lately, though. Just doing that, and I struggle on this show. I struggle with anxiety and depression, and substance abuse issues, and that's probably most of what we're going to talk about, I assume.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's who I am. I really like pizza and chicken.
No.
And I bought a skateboard today. We already talked about that.
You did.
Very excited about it.
Well, I knock it over and shit. So I'm trying these new questions out. So let's just see how they do. First one up is, who did you want to be when you grow up? Who or what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a lot of things. It would change every day.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a doctor, an astronaut.
All right.
And I had a real hardcore archaeologist kick, because that's what my grandpa does.
Yeah.
And I just thought he was the cool. I thought my grandpa was Indiana Jones,
Fucking dinosaur bones.
Yeah. No, well, that's paleontology. Archaeology is people.
Yeah.
So that was a thing for a while, and then I always played guitar, and from the time I was 9 or 10, wrote songs.
Yeah.
And from the time I was probably about the same age, freestyle with my cousins and stuff. So music was always on my mind, but I never took it seriously as a career until maybe recently, and I still kind of have you gotta have backup plans and stuff.
Mm.
But I mean, I might want to teach it one day or
Okay.
do something along those lines. But I certainly didn't want to be a drug addict and an alcoholic when I grew up. That wasn't that wasn't my goal.
You too? That's crazy. No, that wasn't on mine either.
That wasn't on my radar.
It just slipped past. Oh, damn. It's crazy how that works out. Yeah. Main thing I wanted to be was a pilot. Pilot is the main thing I wanted that sticks out, but commercial airline pilot, not even a cool fighter pilot or nothing.
Really?
I wanted to carry hundreds of people.
Just pilot, though.
Just be a bus driver for the sky.
Kind of like a pilot for our house.
Oh,
in
good.
a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And we trust you a lot, and you keep us safe.
I think
Keep us in the air.
I think pilots are a lot calmer than I am. I feel like I run around with it like a chicken with its head cut off sometimes. But
Me too. We play off of each other.
yeah, c'est la vie. All right, next question. Who are your parents? And you can get as detailed or as non-detailed as you want to get.
My parents are the fucking shit.
Yeah.
I love my mom and my dad. They're still together. I don't come from a broken home. I don't come from a shitty childhood.
Yeah.
Which is for a long time I felt I didn't have an excuse to struggle with the kinds of things I did.
Same shit here.
Turns out we have a huge family history of all this shit. But my mom is a preschool teacher, and my dad works for the state now, but most of my life he was a journalist who wrote for the local paper.
Dope.
So I come from a pretty middle of the road background. We weren't ever hella broke. We weren't ever hella well off.
Yeah.
you know, but we had what we needed, and you know, lived in a house, and you know, fucking. So that shit was cool. My dad like definitely gave me like his musicality. He plays guitar and was in a number of bands and drums.
Okay.
And now his thing is like he like builds modular synths from scratch because he's a weirdo.
Why not?
Yeah, he's a fucking nerd. But he's also like he's a writer, most definitely, and he, you know, I think that he taught me at a young age like a lot about words and like being expressive, and I kind of took like my own path with it. Like I'm not a journalist, obviously. But,
yeah. You still mess with words though.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really cool. And then my mom is just a really sweet, caring person, and she's really artistic as well. She paints, and she got her art degree, and she did like textiles.
Like fabric?
Yeah.
Shit.
Which is sick as fuck. So I'm colorblind. Yeah, so I definitely came from like a like cool like very like humanities centered like household. You know, both my parents are. My dad was a local journalist, so he was super into politics and like super left wing dude. And
Yo.
same with my mom. So I grew up with like a really cool like understanding of certain things. Like I didn't come from like an ignorant like,
no.
like shitty,
I don't think so.
Like shitty, you know, like my parents taught me to like, you know, love all people and like,
right.
be accepting and like care about the world and the planet and shit.
You're like an art baby.
Yeah, I'm like a weird like. My parents are like kind of like punk rocker people, like
hippie-ish.
like yeah, like
maybe
we're
a little
like
hippie
punk rockers. So neither of them smoke weed, so I wouldn't say super hippie.
Never too late.
Never too late. Yeah, sometimes mom would take my stash. You know, I don't know where it went.
There you go. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and then I have one little brother who is 6 years younger than me, and he's the fucking shit. He beat me at a game of Skate recently.
A fucking PS4 game?
No, like Skate, like actual Skate.
Oh, okay.
That was like a huge moment. I was like, oh my god, like he surpassed me.
Yeah.
But he's super cool. He puts me on to music and stuff all the time. Like,
yeah.
he's the shit.
That's how you know you're getting old.
Right.
Youngins are coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, what was?
I'm like, what are the kids hip to these days?
Right. I'm the same way with my little cousin. Well, he's not little. He's like 20, but anyway.
Where do you? I don't know shit about your background. What are you doing?
So, little quick background. I'm a military brat or army brat. Both parents are in the military. Moved around so. Grew up in SoCal.
I don't know that part.
Born in Louisiana. Lived in South Carolina until I was 4. Moved to California, Bakersfield.
I got family in South Carolina. I got family in
Really?
Yeah.
Shit, we probably cousins. Anyway.
I don't know about that.
You never know. Oh,
Never know.
Bakersfield to Fresno to Barstow back to Bakersfield to Santa Barbara to South San Francisco.
Sounds chaotic.
And yeah, I did the math a few years ago, and it was like I moved once every 2 years. So I was really trying to like stay in the Bay, just to prove to myself like I wasn't running from something. Even though the majority of those moves weren't my choice exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I was just afraid that I was running from something, so I tried to stay in the Bay, and stay I did. Cut to 8 years later, and Well, I made quite a nice little life now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so. Your little mini apartment over here.
Right. Oh, yeah. I share a room with Gus and our other roommate. Uh, I'll let him say his name when he comes on the interview. But yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's
My
cool. I
side.
feel like I know more about you.
Yeah, no, I'll get into more of that. Probably, I probably do that subconsciously. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
hold things tight, close. I don't know. You just never know with these types of situations. Also, that we're in SOEs, like how long people are gonna stay. Everybody says, "Oh yeah, we're cool. Let's hang out," and 6 months down the road, never hear from anyone again. So, I don't know. I probably just do that to protect myself more. That got dark.
I mean, I get that though. Like,
Yeah.
it's like that's kind of how the whole recovery thing is. Like, you make like super close connections with people, but you don't know when they're just like. The
Well,
nature of drug addicts is like you don't know when they're just gonna drop off the face of the earth or
yep.
fucking like I've had a couple homies die so far that I've met in the rooms and shit because I mean that's how this disease is. Like it doesn't fuck around.
Nope.
Um,
When's the first time? When's your first experience learning about mental health or seeing it firsthand, either like with yourself or an aunt, an uncle? Like, oh shit! Like,
so
there's health inside the brain.
I
What?
didn't really understand it at that age, but when my dad, so when I was 9, my dad must have been 39. He he drank beer. He wasn't an alcoholic per se, but heavy drinker.
Yeah.
And smoked a lot of cigarettes. And he had this thing happen to his heart when I was in 4th grade. We went to the hospital for it. It's basically the opposite of a heart attack. Like instead of it stopping, it just started beating. And then it gets like faster and faster. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
But so he had that happen, and then I don't know if he knew about it before or like it was brought to light then. But he had a pretty intense anxiety disorder, and because of what had happened to his heart, a lot of times like panic attacks can feel very similar
It's a heart attack.
to that. Yeah. So I didn't understand what was going on at that age. I just knew my dad was sick, something with his heart.
Yeah.
And he had to quit drinking and smoking because of it. But that was, I feel like, my first like sense of like, cause like I saw him have panic attacks a couple times, and I didn't really know what it was, or like wasn't able to differentiate between that and like some other sort of medical issue. But I saw my dad like drinking all this tea and like getting all zen and shit.
Yeah.
So like I had some sense there was something going on with like his health and staying calm.
Yes.
You know, that they were in some way interconnected. And then when I got to be about 13, 14, I started experiencing, symptoms of anxiety and depression. And when I was 15, I got I knew what those things were at that point. I had researched it, but I hadn't been diagnosed or gone
Yeah.
to a therapist or anything. When I was 15, things got pretty bad. Suffice to say, I'm not going to go into the details.
Yeah.
But that's when, after some shit happened, I ended up going to see a therapist and kind of having the chemistry behind those kinds of things explained to me and like
Got you.
what shit actually, because like I knew what anxiety and depression was, but I didn't know what it actually was.
Yeah.
Like I thought that like you were just sad,
Yeah.
or like you were just kind of like nervous. I didn't realize that it was like a chemical
Imbalance.
thing.
Yeah. That's
That was
crazy.
crazy.
That's fascinating. That's fascinating, especially with your dad. Like you not being able to put into words, but almost like seeing some like spiritual. It sounded like almost spiritual transformation or change.
Yeah, definitely. Like And he still struggles with it. My mom struggles with her own things. Like my little brother has told me about certain things that he struggles with.
Well,
you know, like our whole fucking family like has that shit going on, and I think that like, you know, we're a sensitive bunch. Like, I don't know what to say.
That's for damn sure. I don't know if my family's a sensitive bunch, but I sure as hell know I'm a sensitive, whatever the singular of bunch is. Yeah, first exposure. I don't know. I had some like crazy aunts and uncles, and not to throw the C word out there, but like crazy in a good way, like very
Crazy as hell.
yeah, eccentric, drinking a lot, smoking a lot, and like you, I didn't know what the hell to call it. They just seem like fun people.
My weird ass family.
The funnest people. Like I wanted to be. That's also who I wanted to be. Like my uncle Matt, just like the slickest talker, can chop it up with anybody. Always smelling like beer. But anyway, come to find out later, like in my high school years, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia with bipolar, on top of addiction. So that was and even then I heard the big words, right? Bipolar, schizophrenia, but I wasn't doing any research into what that meant. I just knew he talked to himself a lot, and he can go into these psychosis moments where he's seeing people, and I know the drugs and alcohol didn't help, so yeah. So that, first experience with that, like,
yeah,
since I can remember.
I knew my family had issues, but it was just like blanket issues, you know. Like I didn't realize the specifics of things until I got older and came to have a bit more understanding. Actually, my first therapist is still the therapist that I see, and she's done wonders for like explaining this shit to me. And like, I don't think I would be in this position, like doing this well, if it weren't for that woman. Like, so like psychologists, therapists, like bless y'all's heart. Like, y'all save lives.
Bless them. Amen to that. I really want to just like save mine, and she might be listening, so I'm gonna choose my words very carefully. But I just want to like really not let go of my therapist that I have right now in the most healthiest way I could possibly stress.
You find a good one.
You don't want to start all over. I don't want to start all over. What the?
And like, not everyone is good.
Right.
I've been to others, you know.
Really?
Yeah, but like when you find somebody you click with, it's like a sponsor, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta find the right one.
I got lucky. Shouts out to Dr. P. Miss you. I'm working on getting my medical insurance back. Don't even trip. I'm on it. Oh, but yeah. All right. So after this break, we're gonna do like a quick Q&A and then wrap up the episode. All right. Stay tuned. Be right back. Let me find the gong. That's Gus hitting his vape like a bong. You are listening to the Mental Breakdowns podcast with myself, Zoe, along with others, as we try to break down the mental health issues of our day using our own experiences along with textbook definitions. Catch us here on whatever platform you may be using every Thursday night for new episodes. Thanks. Let's get back to the show. Alright. Welcome back to the Mental Breakdowns Welcome back to the Mental Breakdowns podcast. I'm changing that name on season 2. I can't fucking stand it. Breakdowns.
It's like a copyright
with the Z. Yeah, well, because someone already has it, so I had to add a Z to it. Now it just sounds fucking weird.
You gotta do some like crazy like legal sabotage. Gotta like sue them for the name.
I'm gonna just pick another name. That seems easier. Our Q&A comes from Jane Doe out of, let's say, Delaware. They ask, what's the hardest part of having a mental illness? You want to go first? Yeah, you go ahead first. What's the hardest part of having mental illness?
I think, like, God, like the hardest part is there's a lot of hard parts. I don't know. Like the hardest part is like not being able to like I gotta constantly like fight my brain to like deal with like normal ass shit. You know?
Yeah.
Like playing a show or something is like a way bigger deal than it should be. Like, or like
yeah.
Or like almost like thinking of it like when my shit goes untreated, it like has like I either like think that like I'm the worst or like I'm like in some way like special. So I think like another like problem with it is like almost like there's a certain like cockiness that used to come with it, like where it was like, well, I'm like, y'all don't understand this shit, so that makes me like like better in some way, which sounds like really like fucked up, but like not like in the way of like I am better, but just like separating myself from other people.
Right, I know what you're talking about.
Like mentally isolating myself.
Yeah.
And then also just like I don't know, like anxiety, just being like fucking scared for no reason is just bullshit. Like,
super.
You know,
the littlest things.
Like I think it's like the particularly like it can be like stressful for, I think like actually those other two things that I mentioned suck, but the actual hardest part is the way that it affects those around you.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like in relationships, like I need like a lot of reassurance, like whether that's like a romantic relationship or a relationship with friends, or like my family, or like I like need like people to tell me the shit that I already know is true, like that they love me and they're there, and like cause like I question that shit cause like I have a sickness, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's like it's the strain that it puts on everyone around you. Like that's definitely the hardest part is like watching people have to deal with my bullshit.
When you're explaining this, would you be attributing most of this to the substance use disorder, or more towards the anxiety, or towards all of it?
All of it, because my shit's all tied up.
Yeah.
In itself, like I'm way like my mental illness when I'm using is way worse.
Amplified.
And like I can actually do stuff about it and like treat it when I'm sober.
Right.
You know. But yeah, I think just like the way that that whole mess like sucks people up into it. And like a particular like thing that comes out of my anxiety and my substance abuse, that's been an ongoing problem in my life is like anger issues.
Yeah.
And like, you know, some of the damage that's been done, because of that in my relationships, it is really painful, and really like some of the ways that I've acted and some of the things I've said, and you know, some of the bridges that I burned, because I was sick, and like I have to keep telling myself that it was because I was sick and not because I am in some way a bad person, you know, but because I was sick and I was refusing to get help.
Yeah.
That's where the responsibility comes in. It's because like you can be sick and that's not your fault, but you do have a responsibility to get better.
Yes.
Right.
Holding yourself accountable.
Yeah. So like that's the work. Like my own struggles are hard, but like the worst part is how everyone in the
vicinity
gets a little bit of it.
Right.
You know, or a lot of it, depending how close.
Innocent bystanders. Well, maybe not so innocent for some people, bystanders, but
in my case, most people were pretty
innocent.
Yeah, like
true.
Yeah, like I can be a real like anxious, drunk me.
Yeah.
Is really not fun to be around.
No, I believe you 100%.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, the hardest thing about having mental illness or a mental illness or being mentally ill. Oh, I guess mine would have to do with. Sorry, I guess mine would have to do with. I don't know. A big part of my thing is worrying about what other people think, and worry about other people's perceptions way too fucking much. I know everybody does in to some extent, but I just fucking take the cake with in my experience.
I feel that.
There was a quote from the Joker movie. I don't know if you've seen, and it kind of sums it up. But it goes, the worst part about having a mental illness is people expect you to behave as if you don't.
Yeah.
And I think that's what like really irritates me. I know there's still a certain amount of decorum and that I'm supposed to show and whatnot. You know, I'm still an adult living in this crazy society, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I was saying earlier, I'm a sensitive lad. I'm a sensitive lad that's had a lot of issues lately, so I don't know why anyone would act surprised at my behaviors at this point in the game.
Exactly. Like there are certain situations that I wish, like, it was understood that I'm not just like there's certain situations in which like people have gotten the impression of me, like an impression that wasn't true, that was very much my disease and not like who I actually am. And like you kind of wish that you had like a do-over.
Right. Wait.
You know.
Yeah. Like that's not me. That's not me. Wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
This is me.
Like this. I mean, and it is me though. It's a part of me. But like, there's a lot more besides that.
Yes.
It's just at certain points in our life, it consumes us, you know. And it's like the weird like demon mark on Sasuke. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I wanted to say yas though. Yas. Yas, Bruno. Oh.
Now I feel that, dude.
Yeah.
That's a good quote.
Right. All right. What time is it? It's time.
I saw some meme the other day. It was like something about like me in the Joker movie laughing a little bit too hard. The undercover cop in the background looking at me.
Awkward.
Like, fuck.
So we usually wrap up the episodes with one thing we're grateful for. We wrap it up with gratitude. So yeah, just one thing you are grateful for at this very moment in time, and we'll sign off.
I'm grateful for you, though.
Oh, stop! You can't. No, that doesn't count.
Yeah, I can. I'm grateful to have met you and to be a part of your experience and to have you be a part of mine. I know that's cheesy. I bet people are puking in their seats right now. But,
Nah, I think it's just me. I'm trying to get better at taking.
this is
Thank you.
good thing.
Let me just say thank you.
And my mom. I'm grateful for my mom.
Shouts out Gus's mom.
That's how aggressive my mom.
One
my skateboard.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done.
One thing I'm grateful for. Well, fuck, I'm gonna sound like an ass now. I mean, I am grateful for this place. I'm grateful for my home, my current home, which is in a sober living environment, also known as a SLE. I'm grateful for it because I've met tons of crazy, cool, awesome characters. Us people in recovery are some of the most amazing, diverse, creative, funny, cuckoo people out there.
For real, I don't trust normies.
Yeah, no. There's something not right. Yeah.
Like you don't.
All right, you're just gonna.
You don't take 6 shots every time you drink. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, you're just gonna do one line.
6. That's not even.
Yeah.
That's baby child's play.
Well, you're just gonna do the one line, right?
Right.
But there's an entire bag. Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you?
Anyway, all right. That was thank you so much, Gus, for joining us. Our first interviewee ever.
Thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun. It's really cool.
No,
you know I already admired your podcast beforehand.
Somewhat.
Now I'm gonna admire it even more because my favorite person is on it.
Hey. All right, guys. Have a great freaking weekend. Same time, same place next week, Thursday night. I hope to have another interviewee ready to go. Sayonara.
Vote.
Oh yes, vote. I think you can still register. All right, hold on. Where's the gong? Namaste. Beyonce, we pray.
Far.
All right, and that was our episode number 5. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please join us next week, same time, same place, Thursday nights for our episode 6. 6? Yeah, it's episode 6. Okay, special shouts out to moms. Special shouts out to Ed, another friend in the recovery rooms. What's up, Ed? And one other special shout out to my cousin Monet, a.k.a. Charisma. Love you, love baby. Send my love to the fam. All right, guys. You guys have a great weekend. I will see you next week. Peace.